Finally, Logic has came to the iPad. I got my hands on it. I made me a beat, and let's talk about it. So a little bit of information about me. I'm Unique from 99 Doors Entertainment. I've been doing music production since 2011, and most of that time I have been using Logic Pro on my MacBook. I enjoyed it. I love it. Once I got an iPad, I really wish there was a way that I could produce on the go using an iPad. I tried GarageBand. I tried Beatmaker 3. They really didn't suit my workflow. I didn't like it, so I just gave up on it. I use my MacBook everywhere I go, but I really didn't want to take it out the house. This right here is something that I've been waiting for years. For how hyped that I am about this, there is a few things that I do not like about it, and we're going to talk about it more in this video. But let's go ahead and talk about how you can get it. Now, I downloaded this day one, but I didn't get to test it day one. But I tested the following day and I tested it today. And the way I had to go about downloading it, I had to go to apple.com, go to Logic on iPad, click the free trial and download it that way. It may be on the App Store now. I'm not sure. I didn't double check, but that's how I had to do it. Once I got it downloaded, I had to choose what subscription plan I wanted. Did I want the monthly plan for $5 or did I want the yearly plan for $50? Once you choose that, get that set up, it take you right into the app. Of course, you get 1 month free. They don't take it into the following month, but you do got to set up a card and all that information. Now, once you got everything set up and you in the app, they're gonna tell you that you got some essential sounds that you need to download first. Go ahead, download them, and then you're on the main screen. Once you're on the main screen, you can start a new project, go through the lessons that they have set up for you so you can learn how to use it, navigate and use some of their new features, or you can go to their sound pack. I'm actually gonna go through the order that I went through them, and I started off with the sound pack because I was curious about the sound packs, how they sound packs sound, how many they have, and they have a good number, especially for it just to be coming out. I feel like it's a good number. I hope they add more sound packs to it. They separated it by sounds, which is pretty much genres, artists, instruments, drums, and essentials. Now, side note, I was worried about storage when I first heard about this. I didn't know how much room this was going to take up. This is not a half light port of Logic Pro. This is a full version of Logic Pro on the iPad. So I was worried that it was going to take up a lot of room. The app itself only took about 1.7 gigabytes, so roughly 2 gigabytes. And all the sound packs, if you download all the sound packs, 14.55 gigabytes. I say if you got the room, download all of it. Me, my iPad hard drive is 64 gigabytes, so I have plenty of room. I can download all of them, and I might go back through later on and download more. But when I first picked it up, I just downloaded like 5 or 6 that I really like the sound of them. Downloaded those so I can get started and try to cook up something, you know, decent. So after the sound pack, I went through the lessons, and the lessons is pretty much showing you how to use everything, how to navigate, what's the new features are, how to use older features. If you new to Logic, go through it, learn everything that you can learn. If you use Logic before, I would still say go through it, learn some of the new features that they have onto it. Watch the ones with the new features, stuff that you're curious about. And I say that Beat Breaker is a must. Go through there, play with it, break the beat. I know I did. My wife laughed at me for like an hour because I just completely made some hot trash with that. But let's continue. And the last thing they have on the main menu is, of course, new project. Now, if you use Logic on the desktop, again, you started off the same. Of course, you click on it, start a new project. They're gonna ask you what tracks you need, audio, MIDI, drum. Choose which one you want. You can go through the sounds on the side and choose what instruments you want to use. Or if you got a sample, you can put your sample into it. You can start working from there. And the workflow is similar to Logic. It's quick, it's easy. I enjoyed it. This is what I was looking for when I wanted an app to produce on the tablet, something that I'm comfortable with, that I can get my ideas out. Now, once I started going through sounds and start choosing my sounds and really start diving into the beat making process, that's when I realized the limitations on what I did when I was choosing the sounds. And this is why I recommend downloading all the sounds if you got room on your iPad, because if you only download a handful of packs, your sound selection is very limited, and some of the sounds don't sound the best. best. So my suggestion is definitely go through all the sounds. If you find something you like, it don't matter if you're gonna use it now or later, just go ahead and save it to your favorite. That's where it's favorited, and you can pull it up anytime that you need it. It will save you a lot of time. That's one of the things I know I'm gonna do later on. I'm going through and favoriting every single sound that I think sounds good, because to me, a lot of those sounds don't really sound good to me. Now, once you got your sounds picked out and you have to play everything in there, that's where I was a little worried for, and at first I was iffy about it. See, I have hardware, I have interfaces, I have MIDI controls. I could have plugged those right into the iPad and made this process a lot easier, but I want to know, for people that don't have the hardware to plug everything up into the iPad and get everything ready, how would the process be for them? So I just tried to make the beats with just the iPad, nothing else. I opened up the piano, I went to play it. One thing that surprised me is you get to choose what key you want the piano to be in, so you can automatically switch that, and you don't have to worry about playing the wrong notes. You don't have to worry about playing out of key. You already have all the notes there, so you can start playing. This is where it got iffy for me. Everything was too close for my stubby fingers. I couldn't play the notes like I wanted to. I couldn't play it like a real piano. It was good for making melodies, but when it came to playing chords, I couldn't do it. But luckily, they thought about this, and there is a section in there where they automatically build chords for you. I love it. It's my best friend. It helped me get my chord progression down. Then I used the regular piano to play my melody, and I even went in and touched it up using the piano roll. And using the touch screen with the piano roll, making sure my melody was on point, was great. I love the workflow with that. It made everything a lot easier. Even with mouse and keyboard, it made the workflow a lot easier, a lot quicker. And it was like pretty much I had to think it and then moving there by itself already. So much easier. Just like the piano, you had a guitar there, so you can strum the chords if you want to. You can bend the notes if you wanted to. I haven't played around with that much, but it's something that I'm curious about and that I'm gonna play with in the future. And I will give you an update what I think about that. So when it comes to your effects, they have the effects listed down below, and you just choose which effects you want in what order, and you just add it in. You can pull it up to full screen so you can see the whole thing, just like you do with the desktop. You see the whole layout, and you can turn each knob individual. They also have all the presets like they do with the desktop version. Like I said, it works. A lot of people compared it to Ableton, the way that it's set up and the way that it's laid out, and I have to agree, it is kind of laid out like Ableton, but if it works, it works. Overall, it's a good tool. The few bad things I have to say about it is that back button. Now, if you look at the top where the project is, there's a button with back, and when I'm inside of something, when I'm in my workflow and I want to back out of something, I automatically want to push that button every single time, but it closes you out of your project and you have to reopen the project. Luckily, it do saves once you do hit that back button. I think that's great, but I just wish there was another place they could have put that button instead of right there, because I hit that button a lot while working on the beat, especially once I get into my flow and I need to back out of something. That's the first button I push every single time. Another one of the complaints I got, and it might just be me on this one, is I wish that it automatically closed certain screens when I open another one. Sometimes I might have my effect window open and I want to switch over to my piano roll. Now I got my effects window open in the piano roll. Sometimes I wish it would just automatically close the effects window. I don't need that open. Maybe there's a setting that I can toggle on and off to fix that. Maybe it's just me nitpicking, but that thing really annoys me sometimes. If you're looking at the footage, you can see that I have a lot of things open at once because they don't automatically close. I don't know. That's just a pet peeve of mine. That's me nitpicking. Other than those two things, at the moment, I really don't have anything else I want to complain about. I heard other people say that it wasn't easy to bring your own files in. I'm not sure yet. That's something I might have to test later. But the last thing I want to talk about before the end of this video is switching from the tablet to the desktop version. I wanted to test that out to see how easy they made this, and luckily they made this easy as possible. Now you have to make sure your desktop version is updated. Once you have it up to date, it's no problem, and they automatically save it to iCloud as soon as you back out of your project. So you back out of your project, it's on the iCloud. You just come over to your desktop, open your iCloud, the project's there, double click it, and it'll open right up in Logic. I like the quickness of it. I like the convenience of it. And once I open it up in Logic on my desktop, I just did a quick mix into this beat that y'all hearing in the background. I just did a quick mix and add ozone to it. That's all I did to make sure it was loud enough. Everything else I did on the tablet. Now, as my first impressions, I say go ahead, try it out. You do get a month free. I'm excited about this. It's gonna be a great secondary tool. It's not gonna be my main driver, but I can see it becoming somebody's main driver. They heart of their production business. To me, it's gonna be the side when I'm out and about. It's gonna be good for me to have something there to start project. When I got that request weirdly at a weird time when I'm sitting on the couch, I can go ahead and get started on my couch. I don't have to take 2 steps to come in the studio to start working on it right away. I can go sit outside and work on some beat. And you really don't understand the power of having Logic on your iPad until you work it in one spot and you get up and you move to another spot. It really helps with the workflow without even thinking. You just continue working regardless. But that was my quick first impressions on this. If you tried it out, let me know what y'all think down below. If you like this video, hit that like and that subscribe button, and I'll check y'all out later.